Maybe it's not that you hate yourself. Maybe you just hate who you had to become in order to survive. The mask you wear, the smile you fake, the silence you sit in, the pressure to always be okay, even when you're not. And the truth is, you weren't born like this. You became this to be loved, to be safe, to not be abandoned. So no, you don't hate yourself. You hate the performance, and it's okay to outgrow it. The unspoken pain. There are parts of you you've disconnected from. Not because they were wrong, but because they weren't accepted. Your softness, your needs, your sadness, your anger, your voice. Somewhere along the way, you were told, that part of you is too much. So you adjusted, shrank, smiled through it, carried yourself like you didn't need anything. And now, years later, you feel disconnected, not from life, but from yourself. It's not self-hate, it's self-forgetting. Where the split happened. Think back, not to a traumatic moment, but to a quiet one. A moment where you realized being real didn't get you love. Maybe it was the way someone rolled their eyes when you cried, the silence that followed your truth, the punishment after your anger, the discomfort when you showed joy. So you split. You created a version of yourself who was more acceptable, calmer, smarter, quieter, more agreeable. You built a mask, and the world loved it. They called you mature, reliable, low maintenance. But inside, you started to vanish, the person you became. Let's be honest, you became the one who doesn't ask for much, the one who holds it all together, the one who listens, fixes, supports, but never crumbles, the one who always looks fine, even when everything hurts. You overachieve because you fear being ordinary. You overthink because you were punished for being wrong. You stay quiet because peace feels safer than honesty. And then you wonder why you feel empty after a good day, why compliments don't land, why rest makes you feel guilty, why love feels distant. It's not because you're ungrateful. It's because deep down, you miss who you used to be, before the world told you who to become. The illusion of growth. They tell you you've grown. You're responsible now. You know how to stay calm. You don't react. You manage your emotions. You keep it together. But that's not always growth. Sometimes that's suppression. Sometimes growth is just trauma with a polished cover. Because real growth doesn't mean emotional silence. It means emotional fluency. Feeling more, not less. Owning truth, not erasing it. Trusting your gut, not overriding it. Maybe the goal isn't to evolve into a perfect version of yourself. Maybe the goal is to return. To return to the version of you that didn't need permission to feel. The real cost. The cost of becoming who the world wanted. It's not visible, but it's heavy. You wake up with pressure before your feet hit the ground. You scan rooms wondering if you said too much. You replay conversations hours later. You cry when no one's looking, but don't know why. You feel like a ghost in a body that's still performing. You tell yourself, I should be grateful. I'm doing well. There's no reason to feel this way, but your body knows. Your soul remembers. You lost parts of yourself along the way, and it's time to go back and get them. 5 signs you've outgrown the mask. Here's how you know you're ready to come home. You feel numb in moments that should bring joy. You avoid silence because it brings up sadness. You feel a deep resentment toward others, but guilt for feeling it. You crave freedom, but fear being seen. You're tired, not sleepy. Tired of pretending. These are not flaws. They're signals. Your soul is asking to be reclaimed. So, what do you do with this? Here's the truth. You don't need to become someone new. You just need to stop betraying the parts you buried. Here's how you start. Step 1. Acknowledge the split. Say it out loud. There are parts of me I left behind, and I want them back. That's it. That's the beginning. Step 2. Let yourself feel what wasn't safe. Then find space to cry, to rage, to say that wasn't okay. You don't need to explain it to anyone. You just need to stop gaslighting yourself. Step 3. Reintroduce your real self. Gently ask, what do I actually enjoy? Not what looks good. What would I do today if I didn't need to impress anyone? What am I craving emotionally? Sit in that. Let it rise. Let it be awkward at first. Step 4. Practice radical honesty. Not with everyone, just with yourself. You don't owe the world a performance anymore. Start small. I'm tired. I don't want to go. That didn't feel good. I want more than this. Each time you do, the version of you that's been hidden starts to breathe again. The return is messy and beautiful. You're not going to get it right every time. Some days you'll still say yes when you mean no. You'll slip into people-pleasing. You'll smile when you're hurting. That's okay. You spent years becoming this version of yourself. You won't undo it overnight, but every time you choose truth, even if your voice shakes, you take a step closer to your real self. Not the curated one, not the praised one, the one underneath all of it. That's who you've been missing. That's who you're becoming. Again. Final words. You were always enough. Let's be honest. You never hated yourself. You hated the pressure. You hated the silence. You hated the way you couldn't speak. You hated who you had to pretend to be. But the real you, the one underneath the armor, was always worthy. And you're allowed now to return, to feel, to want, to say no, to be soft, to be bold, to be seen. Because this time, you're not becoming someone new. You're finally becoming yourself. Soft call to action. If this video felt like something you didn't know you needed, let it sit. Watch it again when you forget. Send it to the version of you who's still trying to hold it all together, or to someone who thinks they're broken, but really just became someone they didn't want to be. You're not broken, you're just remembering. And that is the most beautiful thing you could ever do.